Hi guys, today I'll be taking a look at a relatively affordable tactile switch from JWK, the Durock T1. Let's get started. Now, the Durock T1 comes in a few housing varieties. The one I have is called the smoky version, but they also come in clear, black, and even in a koala housing with two different weightings, a 62 and a 60 gram version. Moreover, the Kiwi switches also feature the T1 stem, but that's a slightly tweaked T1 and it's not exactly the same switch anyway. Needless to say, the T1 comes in a variety of different styles and those are just the well-known ones. Now in terms of pricing, these currently go for around £4.20 for 10 switches on Durock store in AliExpress, placing them in the budget to mid-tier category. And this is what they look like when disassembled. Feel free to pause the video. Now let's move on to the switch categories. On-center key presses are extremely smooth with absolutely no hints of scratchiness in any of the switches. Off-center key presses are still smooth, but some switches show inconsistencies, especially when pressed slowly, but it's barely noticeable during normal typing. Overall, if you're looking for an MX-based tactile switch, these should be on your list. 8 out of 10. The weighting is great on these switches. It's a touch lighter compared to the Zelio switch and considerably lighter than the MX Clear. Additionally, unlike those switches, these have zero pre-travel, which means the tactile bump is right at the top of the key press. However, despite the slightly lighter weighting, it's not as tactile as the Zelio switch, but it is more tactile compared to the MX Clear. So, this switch sits in between them, but they are closer to the Zelios than the MX Clear. Overall, these have an amazing weighting. Now, I do still like the MX Clear's weighting, but these are a close second. 9 out of 10. Now, sound for the most part is clean and crisp. No major complaint from me apart from the fact that it's not really noteworthy to begin with. 7 out of 10. Now, take a listen and enjoy. Now, typing on these have been very nice. I really like the smoothness, consistency, and overall weighting. Those three aspects make this the complete package. And don't forget that these compete with higher end offerings such as Zelios and Holy Pandas. Now, with that said, it does have one small downside. The switch installed in my right shift key tends to occasionally stick down when pressed off center. Take a look. Now, this might seem like a huge issue, but it really isn't. It can be fixed with swapping out the springs or lubing the housing. Overall, these are fantastic switches to type on and I can certainly recommend them. 8 out of 10. Now, just like for typing, gaming on these was a great experience. It's smooth and predictable. Also, since there is zero pre-travel, I don't have to preload the switch partway through, which is what I tend to do with other switches, especially linears. Now, the only thing I would change is the weighting. I would place heavier springs towards the bottom out to reduce bottoming out, which hopefully would also make the switches more comfortable in the long run. Overall, it performs very well in its stock config and I can easily recommend this over both the MX Clear and the Zelio switch in terms of price to performance. 8 out of 10. In conclusion, these are consistently smooth and very predictable tactile switches. Additionally, it has an attractive price point compared to both the Zelios and the MX Clear. These are worth considering for sure. The final score for this switch is 40 out of 50 or 80%, topping the score charts and making it officially the best switch I've ever reviewed on the channel. Well done, JWK. Anyway, next time I'll be taking a look at another tactile switch. Until then, take care and goodbye.